I think it just unmasks them as a purely political actor or a self-interested actor. You would never see that kind of language in a truly nonpartisan or research group that was just interested in determining the truth of one thing or the other. You wouldn't have seen this in like the old version of the ACLU, for instance. So let's kill this organization, let's kill that organization. That's kind of a strange goal for a an organization that claims to be countering hate to have.
The Deputy Prime Minister has dismissed claims that her party is interfering in the US election. Donald Trump's campaign has made a formal complaint after reports of Kamala Harris's team meeting with Labour Party staffers. Also of the Labour activists volunteering on the ground. Angela Rayner filled in for Prime Minister's questions today, saying no one's done anything wrong.
People in their own time often go and campaign, and that's what we've seen. It happens in all political parties. People go and campaign and they do what they want to do in their own time with their own money.
Angela Rayner there. Well, Matt Taibbi is an investigative journalist and best-selling author in the United States. He's obtained documents that allege that a campaign group that was previously set up by the Prime Minister's Chief of Staff, Morgan McSweeney, had on its agenda to kill Musk's Twitter. Elon Musk, of course, has put a lot of money and something of a prize draw out there for people who are supporting Donald Trump's campaign in a roundabout sort of way. The Centre for Countering Digital Hate is no longer run by McSweeney. We've contacted them for comment, but no return as of yet. Well, Matt joins us now. Matt Taibbi, good evening to you.
Good evening. Thanks for having me on.
Just explain what you found and why you think it's so relevant. Let's just set out your story first of all.
Well, I've been working for 2 years now, or almost 3 years now, on the digital censorship story. I worked on the Twitter files. I'm very familiar with the Center for Countering Digital Hate. They're a big player in what we call the anti-disinformation space, and they've lobbied for legislative changes and laws in a number of places, like the Digital Services Act in Europe, the Online Harms Act in the UK, and the CCDH operating in the United States is significant for a variety of reasons. But they had a major lawsuit. They were sued last year by X and Twitter and by Elon Musk. That suit was thrown out last spring. And afterwards, the CEO of the CCDH said that it was a triumph because the courts, it was preventing Musk from weaponizing the courts against good faith research. Now, what we found in these documents, these are monthly agenda notes, where the template for the notes has the leading agenda item as kill Musk's Twitter. So that, first and foremost, I think is big legal news, because I think it belies the notion that this is a good faith effort at research. But broader than that, I think these documents suggest that this is a politically motivated group that is targeting one side and not the other.
Okay, and when were these agenda items? What is the timeline on this?
The earliest one we have is from January of this year, and the most recent one is from August.
Okay, so you would question, why a disinformation campaign group effectively has one of their annual priorities, and this is over several months. It appears again and again in this document over a period of time, why they would want to kill Musk's Twitter. They've had beef with Elon Musk before. And so you're also making the link politically to this because Elon Musk backs Donald Trump, and you feel that the Centre for Countering Digital Hate doesn't like Donald Trump either, or is pro Kamala Harris. Is that right?
The more overt link is with Labor Together. They were both founded by Morgan McSweeney. So CCDH and Labor Together are really of a piece. And Labor Together has been in the news in the United States quite a lot in the last couple of months.
Okay, but sorry, just because the Centre for Countering Digital Hate and Labour Together were founded by the same person, it doesn't make them affiliated organisations. Morgan McSweeney, Keir Starmer's Chief of Staff, left the Centre for Countering Digital, actually left Labour Together 4 years ago. to work on Keir Starmer's election operation. I understand he's no longer involved with the Centre for Countering Digital Hate here. So I understand kind of why you've made that connection, but I would ask really sort of how serious that connection is. Just because Labour Together and the Centre for Countering Digital Hate have been founded by the man who is now Keir Starmer's Chief of Staff, it doesn't mean at all that he's had any influence over them whatsoever, does it?
Currently, Morgan McSweeney.
Yeah.
I guess I can't say that he currently has influence over CCDH. I can't say that he doesn't either. But
Yeah,
more
but
importantly,
yeah,
it's
but
the
come on.
history of CCDH. They have a long history of being identified specifically with kind of the centrist wing of labor. One of the things that brought CCDH to prominence was their campaign against the canary when they went after the leftist side of labor. And so they have a long history of promoting one particular political point of view. I don't think it's unrealistic or irrational to associate CCDH with Labor Together. There's a lot of crossover there.
Okay, well, look, I'm sure Labour Together and the CCDH will dispute that. And as I've pointed out, yes, they were both founded by Morgan McSweeney. We know that Labour Together has been out advising Kamala Harris's campaign. We can't say the same for the Centre for Countering Digital Hate. But tell me about the political motivation. So you've got these agenda minutes. The annual priorities, again and again, is to kill Musk's Twitter. Now, you think that is a political move, do you? So it's not against fighting disinformation on Twitter. You think that is a political move. It is an anti-Trump move because of Elon Musk's support of Donald Trump.
I didn't say that. I didn't say.
Fine. Okay. Well, let's just quash that. And so why is it notable that the Centre for Countering Digital Hate has Kill Musk's Twitter on their agenda items?
I think it just unmasks them as a purely political actor or a self-interested actor. You would never see that kind of language in a truly nonpartisan or research group that was just interested in determining the truth of one thing or the other. You wouldn't have seen this in like the old version of the ACLU, for instance. So let's kill this organization. Let's kill that organization. That's kind of a strange goal for an organization that claims to be countering hate to have. So readers can draw their own conclusions about what the politics of that are. I would also add that in addition to killing Musk's Twitter, they talk explicitly in a lot of these agenda items about promoting change in the USA according to what they call the STAR framework, which is very similar in its makeup to the Online Safety Act that you've already passed in the UK and the Digital Services Act, but is very contrary to American speech tradition. So that, I think, is if anything, the more serious revelation in the documents.
Okay, all right. We know that Labour Together have been speaking to Kamala Harris's campaign, and as you note from these agenda notes, the Centre for Countering Digital Hate has had conversations with Amy Klobuchar, and
at least 60 other members of Congress.
Okay,
probably more like 75, actually.
Okay, all right. And so you are, questioning kill Musk's Twitter. We don't know. We can't say that is an anti-Republican move, but what we can say is that is unusual for a campaign group that is all about, trying to do away with disinformation, countering digital hate. It is a strange motive to have.
Is that the Trump campaign has certainly interpreted that as an anti-Trump move. They told me this morning, and this is breaking news for you, that that this group, CCDH, will be, the quote is, investigated from all angles if they get into office, and that it will be at the top of their list if and when they get into power.
What do you make then of Donald Trump today, his campaign confirming that they've made a formal complaint about these Labour activists that have gone over to help with on-the-ground campaigning, volunteering, as Keir Starmer pointed out today. What do you make of that Donald Trump's campaign has made a formal complaint about that?
I don't know. I mean, I think that I understand where the frustration comes from their campaign. I'm not a Republican. I've never voted for Trump, but this is a politician who was formally investigated for 8 years for being the alleged recipient of improper foreign assistance. So you can imagine where some of the edge comes from when these stories come out. They feel that this is improper. I'm not sure that it breaks laws, however. From my understanding, I haven't been told in what way this would break laws as long as nobody's been compensated. But the optics of it aren't great for American voters.
Yeah. So as long as no one's been compensated, and volunteers have a $1,000 threshold for transportation. So if anyone paid, bought a plane ticket for over $1,000, that is in danger of breaching electoral law, as we've, seen it set out. Some of our colleagues here at the Times have set that out today. There is also the question about this deleted LinkedIn post, which saw Sophia Patel, Labour's head of operations, saying, "We will sort your housing." It makes it sound like, certain aspects of that post, people have pointed out, make it sound like it's a Labour Party operation, which of course has been denied. Keir Starmer says these are volunteers. Volunteers can do whatever they like in their spare time.
I don't think the legality is really what would upset Americans. I mean, it may be what is triggering the Trump campaign, but I think for voters, it's more the optics of a foreign government coming in and helping a candidate at all.
Look, Matt, thank you for coming and speaking to us about the story. Appreciate it. That's Matt Taibbi, who's an investigative journalist. Thank you. Good to speak to you.